No, there you are. Hello, greetings from heaven. And you know what's really nice? I mean, I always love the sounds down here, but I can hear ravens and I can hear children. I had to stop loads of times on the way up because there's people out walking in an orderly way, keeping their 2 meters. But it's nice. It's nice to see that because this is what we need. And that was the thing I was going to say that I didn't get to in the video the other morning. Practicing awareness during this difficult time, one of the things that's helped me, there's a few things. One was actually, I'll just stick it in here before I get to my bit, but Glennon Doyle, I love her phrase, we can do hard things. We can do hard things. So when you're about to burst out crying from frustration because you've washed your hands 1,000 times and you can't break the cat's antibiotic and you're running out of time to get out in the morning like I was the other day. So I said, we can do hard things. And, you know, her and her community give me a lot of hope as well because they take their love seriously and they help people. The Together Rising Fund. So check out Glennon Doyle if you need to feel a little bit better about humanity. Alright. A very expressive face. The other thing that has been helping me, I'm walking down to the lake, that's where I'm bringing you, is this. Outside, the spring, the birds, the nature, the beauty. I keep noticing how exquisite, what is that? Oh, it's a piece of wood. How exquisitely beautiful everything is at the moment, because everything is coming to life, and that gives me a feeling of hope that transcends everything that's happening. So if you are training yourself to a new life, I would say please look out the window and take a couple of breaths with what's there. Have a little listen, indulge. And there's like different ways to approach what's going on, but one of the things that I noticed was that I was getting a little perfectionism triggering, trying to do everything really well. And I'm going to try and do this gate really well this time and not bang my knee. Yeah, I said to a friend the other night, would you consider being a little more crap than you usually are? Letting yourself be crap. Because I'm letting myself be a little bit crap. I have to be very vigilant because I'm out. I'm still working behind closed doors. So I'm being very careful with my hands, my nose, my space, my 2 meters, and it takes up a lot of bandwidth. It's jeez, look at this. Lads, look at that. Do you see, at this point, it is the face of a smiling friend, and it comforts me so deeply. The daffodils, the dandelions, this. Look at this. Oh, to be an earthling, to be on this earth and to see this beauty and to see it together. So, triage. It's coming in waves. The grief, the worry, the feeling normal for a while, then going back to feeling what the fuck is going on, How do I cope? I can't cope. There's a lot of thinking. And of course, the thinking thinks that if it figures out, ooh, somebody's in the water. This is the most ADD mindfulness talk in the history of the universe. Did you hear that? There was a big plop. Oh, I'm sorry for disturbing you, little person, wherever you are. So, yeah, so triage. Because if you are caught in a wave, if there is a moment of bad feeling, what's the thing to do? How do you meet that? How can you mitigate that? Because of course anything that you pay more attention to, you give more energy to. So if you are in distress, a couple of very quick things that can be done to bring you out of the immediate really it feels too much. Sometimes it's a lower grade, but it's been going on for a long time and you're just like, you know. So simplest first thing, hand on the heart if that feels too much, hand on the tummy if that feels too much, hand on your arm, and just the oldest news in the universe. No forcing, just a couple of breaths. Say to the body, what's happening in this moment? What's actually happening in this moment? And a lot of the time you are actually safe, even though in your mind you don't feel safe. So just let that sink in just for like 3 breaths. If that's not doing a goddamn thing because your mind is still going absolutely mental and your body is really agitated or whatever you're experiencing, I mean, one of the most simple things to just bring you out of that is to walk. Just very, very slow paced walk. Any kind of movement, any kind of action. So that's if it's really acute. If it's milder, sometimes you need to speak to the anxiety and say, I know you're there. I see you. I recognize you. I know you're trying to keep me safe. And you could take an action to help you feel safe. Something small. It could be just, if you've been thinking about cleaning the stuff in your fridge, just clean the stuff in your fridge, you know? If you're worrying about, whatever it is, talk to it and see, is there any small step that you could take? Because action brings you forward and paralysis is the uncomfortable stuff. The voices are traveling really easily. It sounded like there was somebody near, but there isn't. I don't know if that's helpful, but that's my triage. The first thing is hand on my arm. Okay, recognize. So recognize is there's a jumble of thoughts. My heart is racing. Whatever it is, just recognize this is uncomfortable. Here I am. Don't like it. Want it to stop maybe. Then accept, which is like, okay, well, look, this is here. I might not want it to be here, but it's here. And then investigate. I'm giving you the RAIN acronym here. Tara Brach and Jack Cornfield and that stable of practitioners whom I've just deep respect and love for and really enjoy their teachings. They use this RAIN acronym. So recognize, accept, investigate is for when you're a little bit calmer, and that is about not investigating mentally because your head's doing a good enough job of making a knot all by itself without giving it any more juice. Investigate is trying to feel in the body where the suffering is, and maybe just, like I said, just bring a hand to, where it is. And the naming of something gives you space. The recognition and the acceptance breaks the spell of resistance. You know, oh, I don't want to feel like this. Oh God, make it stop. I don't like it. I don't like it. If you call it out, if you say, I feel anxious, I feel scared, I feel grief, I feel something unnameable but unpleasant. Sometimes that's enough. I feel. And then feel, if you can feel it in your body, and bring your hand to that place to soothe it. And then nurture. So nurture is speaking gently with yourself, which may be something that you have to fake at first, but just I know you're there, feeling energy, difficulty, pain. I know you're there. And I know you have a message. And I know that I can do something to make myself feel better. Even if it's just right now, just to take a moment and lock myself in the bathroom away from everybody. Or, you know, I'll let myself feel this when I go out for my walk later. And it's that kind conversation with yourself, like you're your own parent. It gives you back your power. It puts you back in your power. It brings you back to your heart. It brings you back to your humanity. It gets you out of your head. And it gets you out of the victim mode and into the caring mode. And that is a different part of your brain. That is engaging a part of your brain that is far better able to cope. And fear, of course, activates our kind of older system. And that's all about just running or paralysis. So you want to try and slip out of that when you can. So I don't know if that stuff is useful. I do know it's useful, but I don't know if I'm explaining it in a way that makes it useful. But this is like mindfulness 101 sort of stuff. I know that people that are listening may know more, may have never done anything like this before, may be interested and want to know where to go next. So please, if you've watched this far and you have a question, fire away. I absolutely love answering questions. I'm a public librarian. I'm glutton for punishment when it comes to an old problem and an old question. Like a golden retriever for answers and solutions, and trying to get you the info that you need. So yeah, and if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about, let me know. We're all in this together. We might be separate, but we are completely together. And I think we can do this. I think we can do hard things. Love yous.